Right. I think I'm good. We gotta do the legendary mic check. Is my mic good? Is the mic clear? Am I over the music? I should turn the music down a little bit. All right. I should be good here, maybe. Let's see. Mic check, mic check. Okay, that should be good. I'm gonna trust that. I'm gonna trust that. All right, the mic check is over. Let me get into the chapter. So, One Piece. Okay, yo. First of all, let me say this, right? This cover page, bruh. This cover page Oda did. That shit is incredible, bro. Flying penguins with aviator gear on. Are you kidding me, bro? Yo, I don't know why, bro. That's like the best fucking penguin idea. I don't think I've ever seen. I've probably seen that once, maybe on a Yu-Gi-Oh card or some shit, or like I can't even think of when I've seen that before. Penguins with aviator gear on, but they're really flying though. I've seen a penguin with aviator gear on. I like that. I like penguins. The nigga a penguin and they're flying penguins, bro. That's like the sweetest fucking idea, bro. And that's a Zoro penguin. I just realized that. What the hell? This nigga made a Zoro penguin. It's got green hair. This is I like this cover page. It's a nice cover page. Luffy swinging. I don't know why he's holding Usopp. But there's a wanted poster for Luffy in the background. That's kind of crazy on the cover page. I wonder what that means. There's a lot of flying penguins. I don't know where they're at with flying penguins. But that's I like that idea. The flying penguins is crazy. We got Jinbei over here holding Nami. I guess she's scared to cross the bridge, just like a bridge connecting the sky cities and shit. Damn, what city is this? I don't know. We're gonna have to like compare this to some other cities. It's like a rooftop bridge. Okay. Let me get into the chapter, right? So we start off from where last time was. Rocks, D. Zebek appeared where Kid Loki was in the underworld. I guess when you pull up on Elbaf with a ship, logically, if it's a tree and it's a tree floating or connected to the water, you're gonna pull up to the lower layer. Everybody who pulls up on a ship, they're gonna arrive at the lower layer. You're always gonna arrive in the underworld if you visit Elbaf. So I guess that's why she built her bar down in the underworld. Makes sense, right? And Harudin's been in the underworld too because, he's chilling down there in that bar with his mom, right? So Loki, everybody's down here. Okay, anyway. So Loki's in the underworld. He said, yeah, this is Elbath, but my dad ain't here. He's on an expedition. Okay. He said, are you puny humans? I never seen your kind before. You really do scurrying around. That's crazy. See, this is first time seeing humans. Damn, like baby Loki is giant. I know y'all could probably see that shit, but like baby Loki's giant as fuck, bro. That's crazy. Baby Loki's giant. He said, so that's not him. I think somebody said, how adorable. I think that's, what's her name? That's Stussy. Stussy said that. And Rock said, so wait, you said dad, you're Harold's kid? Even on that expedition, you can still get in touch with him. What's your name? He said, Loki. Okay, Loki, you're gonna do as I say. Go back home right now. Get someone to contact your old man. Here's the message you, tell them to pass on. The Loki is gravely wounded. Return to Elbath at once. He said, huh? Since when do I have to listen to what you humans say? That nigga mad as hell. Man, little kid Loki's eyes. He do look crazy. There's no reason for his mom to kill him. There's no reason for his mom to try to kill him. But he does, yeah, he looks crazy. He does look crazy. I won't lie. Kid Loki looks crazy. Okay. It's true. It is true. So, I'm not listening to humans. He said, plus it's not like my dad will come back home just because I got hurt. Stop ordering me around, you little weakling. He tried to punch Rock's Dieselbeck. They said Rock's sword attacks were famous for blasting everything in sight like a gigantic hammer or cannonball. Okay, yo, let me say this right. I did see a couple of spoilers, like, because it was inevitable. I did hear about Rock's, his sword is like, it was like an explosion when he clashed with Harold. I didn't know he blew Loki up. He's blowing Loki up with this shit. I didn't know this happened. He's hitting Loki hard as fuck as a kid. I do remember there was Loki earlier said he got stabbed by rocks. But damn, he just blew him up. He said, there, what'd I say? Loki's gone and gotten wounded. So he predicted the future because he was going to create that future. This dude's crazy. He don't need observation hockey. Everybody else has observation hockey. They're seeing the future because they're predicting it with their observation hockey. He don't need that shit. Rocks doesn't need it. He's going to predict the future because he's going to make that future happen anyway. He's just telling you what's about to happen. He said, listen, Loki, you're going to get wounded and you're going to have to call your dad and tell him that you got wounded. That's exactly what's about to happen. They said this madman had crossed Harold's path. Well, I did hear about this too. I forgot. Okay, so I heard about the clash. I did hear that Rocks pulled up on Emo, as I'm seeing right now. Rocks is pulling up on Emo. Oh man. And I did hear, there's one more thing I heard. Damn, I can't remember. I can't even remember. That's crazy. So I'll probably remember as I read it. So it's like I'm still going in without knowing anything because I forgot what spoilers I heard. I wasn't looking at spoilers. I accidentally found them. Okay. But anyway, at the Reverie, 1 year earlier, or 1 year ago, I guess, the 5 Kings have been attacked and captured. Somebody yelling that shit. They said it's an abduction. We're taken by a large man dressed in black. Okay, the Emu's standing at the flower garden. Said the lives of kings are no threat to the moon. So they don't really care. Rock said, I suppose not, but your holy land is in panic. They just chilling. They talking. They just sitting there chilling, talking. He said, but I suppose not, but your land's in panic. They said a historical anomaly never repeated before or since. Someone infiltrated the chamber of flowers at the very core of the Holy Land. It's Rox Dieselbeck. The man described himself as a worshiper of Davy Jones. Davy Jones. Davy Jones. That's the other thing I forgot. See, I forgot. I did hear that name. I was wondering why people were talking about it. But this is why. It said Rox says that he's a worshiper of Davy Jones. What? He did not do anything more than this, as he knew he could not. But before he departed, he left a warning. He said, I will be back right here. That nigga gonna come back. I don't know why. That's weird. That's a weird phrasing. I will be back right here. Like, okay. You gonna sit back on that same rock again? You gonna pull up and sit back on this rock again? That's what you telling us? I'll be back right here. Right here. No further. Nothing less. Right here. I'll be back. It said naturally, word of this incident never saw the light of day. But as it happened, one other man infiltrated the Holy Land at the same time. What? Who's this? They said, look at him, he's far bigger than a giant. I deserve him for a slave. That's freezing. No, he should be killed and stuffed for display. There. Guards, protect your allegiance. It's Harold running through on fire. Damn. He said, hot, 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 fine, fine. The talks are off. I apologize for trespassing. But is this really necessary? They trying to blow him up, kill him, stuff him up like a fucking dog. What do you call that? God damn it. I forget what they call that. Damn. I can't even remember what it's called right now, you know, when they stuff the animals up, that profession. But yeah, they trying to get him. They trying to get him for some reason. They want him in any way. The celestial dragons are sick. I never even thought of that. Like, they doing more than just, like, I'm glad Oda, like, expressing some more of their sickness, because, like, I never thought of some shit like that. You know, it's always perceived as, like, you know, they beat on people, they're stealing your food, they stealing your wife, you know, they beating on people, you know, they don't care about poor people, like, you know, but they kind of a little more sick than that. Like, they don't want to just always hurt people entirely. Like, they want to do sick shit like that. They want to kill him and then just stuff him and put him on display like a giant statue and preserve him and shit. I forget what they call that, but that shit weird. Okay, that's weird. That's a weird dude right there. I don't know which one of them said that. But that's weird. And I'm glad Oda had the dude say that shit. That's a nice detail. It said the admiral's been defeated. His attacker went to the palace. Be wary. Okay, and they about to meet each other. Okay, this how they meet. Rox is running away. Rox running fast as hell out of the. He was fronting. I think he was fronting, bro. He was definitely fronting. Nah, Rox is fronting. Nah, I don't believe him. He just like his son. I think he's strong. Because Blackbeard is strong. But like I don't think he's as much of a punk as Blackbeard, right? But I think my point is, I think he a bluffer. I think Rox is a bluffer. I think Rox is a bluffer. So, okay. The music has been lowered. I can't put it too low or it's not going to be heard. I do like it to be heard. But I did lower it. I'd lowered it. Hopefully that's better. Lowered it down. But goddamn, like, I think Rox is a bluffer, okay? I don't think he's a coward like Blackbeard. Obviously, he ran up into the throne room on Emu by himself. So, but yeah, he's definitely a bluffer. He's running away. They said the admiral's been defeated. Okay. They said, what's all this hubbub about? Bring me the big one. Okay, and this Rocks, no, this is Harold. He said he must be the one who kidnapped the kings. I'm not gonna be the fall guy. I'll seize him. And okay, then Rocks is saying a giant in the Holy Land. Is this guy lost or something? Yo, so they running into each other. They didn't know they were even here. Like they're meeting out of nowhere. They just encountering each other out of nowhere. And Harold wants to like, okay, this is the clash people were talking about. Okay, I did hear about this. I heard about the clash, right? But I didn't really like see the like how it came about. I thought they already knew each other, and you know they were probably both sitting at like the Mary Jawah, you know, the Gathering of the Kings, and they just wanted to fight each other or some shit. I didn't know because I heard, you know, random spoilers that I didn't want to hear. But damn, so he's okay. That's crazy. He said he killed an admiral. Yeah, but does killing an admiral just mean you're the strongest character? I don't think that means you're the strongest. So he's saying he's stronger than Whitebeard. He's stronger than like Doflamingo, Roger, Odin. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't think he's the strongest because he killed an admiral. See, people get caught up in the feats. People see that's the thing right there. People get caught up in the feats and all that. You know, the word feats when they're power scaling. You got to get the power scaling stuff out your head. Because I don't think just because he killed an admiral doesn't mean the other strong characters couldn't kill an admiral. I just don't think they have killed one. You know what I mean? They just haven't killed one yet, or haven't. We don't know they have. Or they just haven't killed one at all in their life. Like, why would they need to, right? I think Garp can kill an admiral. Garp can kill an admiral, right? I think Shanks can kill an admiral. Mihawk can kill an admiral. I think Zoro can kill an admiral. You know what I'm saying? Because all the admirals aren't even as strong as each other either. You got to remember that. It's not like a solid power. That's what I think, right? I don't know. So I don't know. I just think I can't look at the feats because I feel like I don't know, like Shanks versus Rocks, man. Who gonna win that? Like, or not even Shanks, like Roger versus Rocks. I need to see that fight animated. Actually, we need to see God Valley. You know what? You onto something. We need to see God Valley, man. If we see God Valley, we're gonna see everything. That's the answer. You got to see God Valley. But they really clashing. Okay, they look like they on par right here. It said the clash between strangers eradicated any sign of others for 5 kilometers around. Whoa, name yourself. Okay, they really on par. He said, brah, I'm Harold. I'm Rocks. Aim at the town with the next blow. If they capture us, they'll turn you into a slave. Oh, what? Why? Don't think, just do it. So, they just encountered, immediately became homies because Rocks is like, yo, bro, listen. We got to work together. I'm not trying to die. We got to do something about this shit. Listen to me. You probably would have joined his crew. He said, yo, listen, bro, do this, do that, boom. That's crazy. And they just worked together. They got out of there. Okay. Which way is Elbaf? The new road's that way. Wahahaha. If you survive, let's meet again, Harold. Never. I don't consort with villains. They jumped off. He said, what? You jumped off? Damn. He's wondering that shit too. Like, okay. He's scared. Yeah, we don't even know if he has a devil fruit either. That's the scary part too, yeah. So yeah, God Valley. God Valley is the answer. I still don't think killing an admiral means you're just the strongest, but he's definitely strong as fuck. With all those things included. I need to see God Valley. Okay, that's the answer. God Valley will show us the way. It's the ultimate answer. So the Navy admiral, the Rocks had just struck down, perished of his wounds despite emergency measures. After his many crimes that day, the crimes of the day, Rocks was named. Oh, okay, I'm reading crazy. Rox's name was launched into infamy, and his deeds stunned the rest of the world. Oh, damn. That's how he got there. Okay. So the only crime that didn't make it into his infamous legend was him making it all the way to the throne room. That's the only one. Nobody heard about that. But they heard about him killing this dude beyond like any type of emergency measures. They tried to work on him. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Like, they just like, it's just like extra dramatic, I guess. So the admiral that he attacked, they tried to get him some like medical attention immediately, but it just didn't work. It didn't work. No matter how much they tried, it didn't work. That's funny. See, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, you say they needed Garp and Roger to team up against him, but it was Garp and Roger versus the Rocks Pirates. And the Rocks Pirates was Big Mom, who killed a giant as a baby, and Kaido, who's been trying to kill himself like Loki. He's damn near built the same way as Loki. We could find out. I don't know what's going on, but like, yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like, and then they had the lion, Shiki, the golden lion. Nah, bro, that's crazy. We got to see that. See, nah, y'all be putting too much. Yeah, I gotta admit, y'all be putting too much into the feats, man. Like, it wasn't a 2v1. It was like, it's like a 2v6, bro. Come on. That's a 2v6. That's a 2v6. Garp the hero, and then Roger, the sick man. The sick hockey man. He's a hockey man. Okay. I guess they were all hockey people that day, right? Until they got their devil fruits from God Valley. I'm assuming Whitebeard gets his devil fruit at God Valley too. I never thought of that. Like, did he have his devil fruit before he was on the Rocks Pirates? Or did he get it since then because of God Valley? I never thought of that. Because any other point in time we seen him, he already had it, but he was already the leader of the Whitebeard Pirates, as far as I'm concerned. Rocks is dead. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing to think of. I never thought of that. I just now thought of that shit. I mean, it might already be an answer. I might just be, forgetting shit. But yeah, okay. They're just like building up his dramatic legend, saying that the admiral died no matter how much medical attention got to him. Okay. Sometime later, he attacked the ship laden with heavy tributes en route to sacred Mary Joie. Not only that, he destroyed the gate of justice and fled once again. With this ship and the money as an initial base to work from, Rocks dove into the pirate business. Okay, this is more. Okay, yeah. His activities were always hostile toward the government, but his first target was actually another pirate ship. Okay. In the pirating world, there had long existed a famous and merciless game between crews. The Davy Back fights consisted of various competitions in which pirates gambled the fate of crewmates and flags. He had Davy Back fights. A lot of people think the Davy Back fights are just anime filler. I think there is like two of them there is, or one of them there is, definitely. But the initial first Davy Back fight, I'm pretty sure, was in the manga too. There was a lot of extra shit added to it in the anime. A lot of extra shit. So there's filler around it. But Davy Back fights were in the manga earlier. That shit is true. It's consistent. But the fact that Rocks is going, like, he was really going into the pirating game heavy. I wonder what the pirating game was like before Rocks even, like, when when Joy Boy became the first pirate, like I'm sure people already had ships and boats and all that, but it's something about the way he sailed and set sail on his boat that made him a pirate, gave him that name. Was it the search for freedom that he was trying to do? That's what I think. I don't know. It's the fact Joy Boy was running around knocking people out on a boat, freeing people. He go to this island, knock people out, start laughing, stealing people's food, throwing parties with their food, giving it to the poor people, fly over that way with his boat. He's stealing from everybody. He was a pirate. That's probably what his definition was. Rocks is running around getting crewmates in Davy back games. Pirates gamble for the fate of crewmates and flags. Rocks made good use of this game to assemble the very solid lineup for himself. He got his whole crew. That's how he probably got Stussy, Sheiky. That's probably how he got all them. The Golden Lion, all them. They were some different crews. He won them over because he won the Davy back. Okay. He said they've got some amazing guys. You got none. They got someone amazing. You guys are gonna be shot. Okay. He said at this point, his motley crew of miscreants. Wow, I read that crazy. Flew no flag. And that was when they arrived at Elbaf. They said, that's it. They see Elbaf in the distance. Okay. Where we at? We're right here. Boom. Last page? Last 2 pages? Last 3 pages. Okay. Rust Castle, Elbaf. That's the castle we seen before, the Rust Castle. I hurried back as soon as I could, but you're already nearly healed up. What a relief. He said, I know you're a strong boy. Wait. Okay, I know you're a very strong boy, Loki. But you should stay away from the underworld. You're lucky you only fell from the cliff this time. There are plenty of other dangers that could befall you here. Nah, he didn't fall from a cliff. He got smacked by rocks, okay? Okay, this is funny. So Loki, he's talking like, yo, dad don't give a fuck. But he's living with his dad. So he knows, like, Harold pops up every day. Like, you know. He said, I can't believe it. Dad actually came back. I guess it was a, I guess that's a rare occurrence, actually. He's thinking in his head, I can't believe it. Dad actually came back. That's just a coincidence, right? He wouldn't come back to see me. So I guess it is a rare occurrence. Like, he's always outside. Okay, Rox pulled up. He said, Rox, I've heard all about your exploits. What are you doing here? So I've been dying to see you, pal. You should join me, Harold. The world government's not going to hear you out anyway. Didn't you learn that lesson last time? He said, nonsense. The day I team up with a band of infamous rogues like you is the day all our allies lose faith in us. Okay, yo, the whole crew, bro. It's the whole crew. Whoa. It's the whole crew. See, nah, like, it was Rox and all of these dudes versus Garp and Roger. That's what happened. It was Rox and his whole crew. The hell bloody crew. Okay, he said, gee haha, I appreciate the feast. Okay, Sheiky said, damn, he's huge. And Whitebeard said, so that's the king of Elbaf. And then, okay, Rox says, so wait, you'd rather be ground beneath the world government's heel? I'm looking for a way to avoid that. We ought to be equals, every one of us. Now you're talking nonsense, Harold. Elbaf is a nation of almighty warriors. Anything you don't like, you can just smash to bits. See, how you gonna pull up in Elbaf? Tell the king of Elbaf that he not living like a giant. Are you not living like a giant? Aren't you a warrior? Go crush the whole world. It's yours. It's yours for the taking, bro. What are you doing? How you gonna do that? That's crazy. He said, okay, no, he said that's ancient history. Elbaf is changing. He said people's nature doesn't ever change. I know that. Fighting blood in your veins is bubbling over. Whitebeard said, can we at least eat in peace? That nigga is hungry. Whitebeard don't want to mess with none of that. He's just hungry, bro. He's trying to just eat. He's sitting there chilling with Shiki. Hold on. Okay, I got distracted. My phone was going off. But anyway. Whitebeard, that shit is funny. He said, "Few people follow this man, only disaster awaits you." Shiki the Lion. He said, "Follow this fool." What the fuck is his laugh? Jihahaha. Jihaha. He got the jiha. He said, "Don't make me laugh. We're all individuals. If Rocks dies, it won't affect the rest of us in the least." So, they really are a motley crew. Like, they really meant that shit. They never said that. He really meant that shit. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Well, one second. And I'm about to turn the phone down so I don't hear that shit anymore. Anyway, for Shiki to go in line, that's crazy. He mentioned that. Okay, yeah, they're really a motley crew. They just there for their own goals. I guess they're listening to him for like, it's just like, whatever. We're here. Nigga, you're not our captain. We're just running around with you. Okay. She said, "That's true, but his plan is very appealing to me. We're set to make a killing. She just cared about the money." So she's not like the Stussy that we know today at all. Like, I'm assuming she's way more like nasty, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she probably just kill niggas in cold blood and all that sort of stuff. Only care about money. That's why, you think about it, right? Think about it. People keep wondering, like, why does the Stussy that we got today, the old lady one, her, why does she turn out to be such an old lady, a ugly old lady and shit? But then she used to look like this. Oda said before, when he drew the Straw Hats in their older versions, in their older forms, he said that depending on like how they aged or grew up, or like what type of life they lived. So this like the bad future, if they lived like a terrible life and they were just like, kind of vile and shit, and if they lived like a good life. So they look ugly if they lived that bad life. They look normal if they didn't. I think that's a reflection of her personality right there, right? She aged and she's running around with her little Blackbeard bastard child Whitebeard bastard child that Whitebeard probably don't even fucking know about. Because why would he be adopting everybody else's son but leave his on the side, right? So Whitebeard, I don't think he knows about Weevil, and she's running around like, yeah, I was fucking with Whitebeard. Like, that's her only claim to fame now. She's just holding on to the last shit. So she's obviously not like the Stussy we know now. Like, she only care about that money and all that shit. You know what I mean? She only care about the money. She's probably way more cold and all that. So she's different. Miss Buckingham Stussy, she's a science robber. What? Mobster? Future Golden Lion, science robber, Miss Buckingham Stussy, and Don Marlon, the gangster of the West Blue. Okay. Don Malone said, about full, what the hell? Full of lead. Okay, full of lead. You know about Full of Lead, the island of exiles? They call it a pirate island. That shit's called Full of Lead. So is he talking about Hachinosu? He's talking about Hachinosu. Is that Hachinosu's like English name? I've never seen it. Okay, I don't know. I'm assuming he's talking about Hachinosu. That's what it's called in the future. But he said full of lead. Like it's just full of bullets. He said they ship out all of the hardened criminals there that countries couldn't handle in their own prisons. Okay, we got Whitebeard, Pirate Edward Newgate, future Whitebeard. He said, I suppose it was supposed to be a desert. Oh, well, damn, I'm reading crazy. You know what? We're going to ignore that. It was supposed to be a deserted island without food where the damned simply wait to die. Okay, and we got pirate guru Wang Zi, future commodore of Pirate Island. He's ugly as fuck. Oh my god. Whoa. Look at him with the triple chin. He's looking like Gecko Moria. That's his name, right? Gecko Moria, Shadow Man. He's looking like him. Oh my god. That's crazy. He said, but in the recent years they've survived and built up a settlement there. How do you think that happened? They're all eating food. Pirate smuggler Ganzui. Okay, maybe they're brothers. They got the same nose. And they both have like kind of Chinese names. If I'm not mistaken. That's like, yeah. He said, turns out there's a gold lord under that island. When the criminal underworld found out, they rushed to help mine it, and the prisoners made themselves a fortune. The government's seeing red. There's a gold lode underneath the island. Government's mad as fuck. Okay, they definitely told me Hachinosu. It's just a treasure island. The gold lode. That's a crazy, like, gold lode. I couldn't even fucking say that the first time. The island's crawling with vicious brigands. Get anywhere near the island and they'll rob you blind. So we made a deal with the government. I says to them, if we get that island back, how much will you give us? So he's talking crazy too. Like, I says to them, he's talking like a dude from like Tom and Jerry, a mobster. That's probably the mobster guy. I think that's either the mobster guy or that's Rocks talking, because he said I says to them. That's crazy. He said if they're willing to pay us, sure, we'll go raid Pirate Island and split the treasure between us. But we ain't giving the government the island or the prisoners. I'm gonna rule over Fulalad, and I'll get the idiots who live there to help me build a pirate's paradise. Can't you just see the dumbfounded looks on the government's and Navy's faces? So yeah, this is his plan to get the island, Hachinosu. All that money. He's gonna raid the island, split the treasure. That's why Stussy wants to make that money. They talking about, nigga, we gonna get this pirate island. This is their whole like thing. This is their whole thing. They said Caribou's father. Oh yeah, this guy. Probably he looked like him a little bit. See, I don't be remembering shit like that. I had to search that up. I gotta forget. I think I did see people talking about that over the week. They did mention him. I didn't know why, but I guess that's why. I guess that's why. He said, this is just a prologue to my life. With that island as my base, I'll wipe out the Navy and bring the Holy Land to its knees, and in the end, I'll be the king of the world. Kid Loki's hearing that. That's the words being imprinted in his mind. I'll be the king of the world. He said, you're making a Navy out of the entire world. Wait, you're making an enemy out of the entire world? It's too much to handle. He said, go ahead and doubt me. Sooner or later, someone's going to do it. Shit, the world government. Shit, Luffy doing it now, damn near, right? He said, there's no authority in the world that lasts forever. Let's go, Harold. If we team up, we're unstoppable. Yo, that's crazy, because they could have did that shit. If Harold teamed up with Rocks, they could have flipped the entire world, government, the whole world upside down, back to probably how it used to be back in the, as the mural on Elbaf, it said the first world. They could have flipped that shit back to how the first world used to be. Before the government took over, before the Void Century, it was just like people running around doing whatever the fuck they were doing. That's crazy. But I mean, maybe he would have been like a dictator. I don't know. I feel like Rocks would have been like a dictator. He would have been a dictator. He would have been worse, maybe. That's crazy. So Kid Loki's hearing all of that too, man. Damn. Save your breath. I'm a king. He said, "You think I care? Let's go and take over the world." Kid Loki over there breathing heavy, like, yeah, the world. He fucked up too. He shouldn't even be here. He crying. First of all, Kid Loki crying. He's hearing this shit. I guess this shit touching him. Like, oh damn. I never thought like I could still have a dream. I could take the world over. Damn. So Kid Loki, that's all he has. And the next thing Loki knew, his outlook on life had been saved. Yeah, okay. He's like, nah, the world. 4 years later, after Harold ignored repeated invitations, Rox finally carried out his plan. The formidable lineup that joined him caused the world to quake with terror. And he formed the Rox Pirates 4 years later. And he got, Shiki, Stussy, everybody we just got introduced to over here. Whitebeard. Probably, Kaido and Big Mom too. By now he has Kaido and Big Mom. I don't know. I hope, you know what I hope? Like this chapter, like this could just be the flashback we're getting from Loki talking about his past, right? But this could be deeper. Like the narrator's been talking for a long time. It doesn't seem like it's either Loki or Gabon telling the story, right? So my point is, this shit might not end from everything Loki could have seen and remembered. This shit might keep going. Like next week, it might pick up from the Rox pirate crew being formed. We might get God Valley real soon. We really might get the God Valley flashback real soon. Like this could continue and pick right up into the next chapter 4 years later, because the time has been ticking down this whole time. It keeps going down each like couple of years. Like, okay, 52 years, 49 years ago. Like it keeps going up. So this could extend into a God Valley flashback. Oh boy. I have to take a couple screenshots because I'm gonna do my thing where I do the post chapter review and I talk about the chapter like I'm making the video, so I can chop it out of the stream in one shot and it'll be perfect. All right. I'm taking screenshots. So every time I do a screenshot, the screen will go black for a second. That's just a screenshot. Nothing too crazy. This chapter was crazy though, man. Like, Rox really did attack a child. Like, he blasted Loki, which is crazy. Like, I'm seeing that right now as I'm going back screenshotting shit. He really pulled up on Emu. Like, I feel like the fact that he pulled up on Emu, right? Like, he did that shit. You can't take that away from him. He did that shit. Emu didn't do anything. I don't know why. Emu didn't do anything. And, like, he ran away, though. He didn't do anything either. He ran away. I feel like he's a bluffer a little bit. Like, he bluffed that day. Like, we know he's strong. I'm not saying he's not strong. He's obviously strong. He clashed with Harold. Like, this dude, he's different. He made it all the way there. He killed the Admiral. Like, he's strong. I think he has that strategy. Like, that's where Blackbeard got his bluffing tactics from, I think. I think Rox pulled up. He got a plan. Like, he pulled up, threatened Emu just to make him scared. Even though he knew, like, right now, I don't got nothing today. Like, I'm just going to sit here and chill, and I'm going to threaten this dude. Like, I'm going to cause a scene. That's what he did. He caused a scene. Like, okay. But nobody knows about that. Nobody knows about that history. They only know about, all the other shit he did. Well, let me hurry up and take these screenshots so I can talk about the full chapter real quick. Give my post chapter thoughts, and I'll trim it out and make it a video. It's gonna be perfect. It's going to be perfect. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna go full screen for y'all. 1 second here. Rocks also used sword pistol punches and an axe. Did he? Damn. I mean, was he using the axe this chapter? I ain't see axe this chapter. I don't think. Hold on, I got y'all. Let me pull this up. See, people watching the stream, y'all get to see me do all the bullshit. Y'all see me mess up on the words. Y'all see me pull up the screenshots and shit. I'm getting ready. But when I drop it as a video on YouTube, they're not gonna see any of this shit. It's gonna be trimmed out really perfect. It's gonna be a one-shot video of me talking about the chapter and giving a review. Yeah, there was a lot of shit going on in that chapter, though. I'm not gonna lie. All right, but listen, I'm about to do the thing, right? I'm gonna start talking like I just read the chapter because I did, right? But I'm gonna trim this out on YouTube. So I'm gonna do it in one take. It's a one take video. I do the video live because that shit's easier, but okay. Anyway. So yeah. One Piece chapter 1155. Now, first of all, let me just say the cover page, right? That shit was amazing because I like penguins. I fuck with penguins. And the fact that they're all flying around with aviator gear on, and I think this is a Zoro penguin. I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure. Maybe 1,000% sure. That's a Zoro penguin. I know that's a Zoro penguin. Zoro was over there on the bridge. Do I have the full screenshot? Yes, I do. Oops, copyright. But yes, you see that? So that's a Zoro penguin. I know that. And the cover page, I like it because the penguins are there. You just get that out the way. But this chapter started off where the last one left off. Loki meeting Rox Diesebek in the underworld. And Rox, I noticed something funny about this. Like, Rox said, okay, listen, you're going to do something I'm about to tell you, right? You're going to call your dad. He found out, Harold is Loki's dad. He said, you're going to call your dad and you're going to tell him that you're hurt and he's going to return back to Elbaf because you're hurt. And I thought it's funny that, like, he followed up with hitting. I didn't know he was going to do this, okay? I learned before I read this chapter, I seen a couple of spoilers. I seen that his sword was an explosion. People said that. I thought that was just because he clashed with Harold. I didn't know he hit Loki in this chapter. That shit was funny. And I think he has his own form of observation hockey where he predicts the future because he's about to create that shit. So he told him, listen, you're going to get hurt. You're going to call your dad. He's going to come back to Elbaf. He predicted the future because he literally made it right then, okay? Everybody else uses real observation hockey. He just makes shit happen. He makes shit happen, okay? In this chapter, Rox pulled up into the throne room on Emu. And I mean, like, this is a crazy feat, like, right? The word feat is a curse. I'm using it now. But even the whole manga kind of highlights the fact that nobody else has ever done this in history. And it is kind of a crazy thing to do. But the fact that he did nothing, I wonder what that means. I theorized, he's kind of bluffing like Blackbeard. That's where Blackbeard got his bluffing trait from. I think he pulled up knowing that he couldn't do anything here. He probably wanted to instill this fear into Emu or just oppose him for no reason, just to make him mad. This is probably why later on in the manga, when we see Imu cutting up pictures in his throne room or her throne room, we see Blackbeard's picture on the floor getting chopped up too. So Imu probably knows that Blackbeard is Rox's son and just hates his entire lineage because of something like this. Just ran up into the room and completely opposed him, just to show that this can be done. I think he was just trying to make a statement. Honestly, I don't think he planned on doing anything to Imu this day. Like, as we saw, he didn't do anything. This was more of a statement, I feel like. And then next we see the Celestial Dragons. And I took a screenshot of this, right? Because I like the fact that Oda is highlighting a different type of violence from the Celestial Dragons, a different type of cruelty from them. You know, as far as I'm concerned, all we know is, you know, they just beat on people, they enslave them, they do the basic, typical cruel stuff, like the things that we know are like bad and evil. They're taking people's wives, they kill children, they're taking people's food, they're doing all that sort of stuff. I never thought of like any of them doing some creative, weird, crazy shit like this, like killing him and stuffing him for display. That's kind of weird. I don't know. I took a screenshot. I just thought that was crazy. Like, that's some weird shit. Like, you're not just gonna use him and you know, do the typical surface level evil shit. You're gonna go the extra mile, and you want to just like have him sitting there as a statue for the rest of the life. Nah, that's crazy. Your kid's gonna inherit the statue. You're gonna pass it down, and your family will. Nah, it's too much. But in this chapter, we also see Rox and Harold clash. And I don't know what this means, like, right? Rox also killed an admiral. I know a lot of people are saying now that this might mean that he's the strongest. I think the door is still open. Honestly, I think the decisive point in which we find out who's the strongest, at least so far, I feel like obviously, right, let's get this out the way. Obviously, Nika / Joy Boy or Imu, they're obviously the strongest, right? Always. But excluding them, amongst the pirates and the people of legend, I feel like God Valley is going to really determine who's the strongest. And, you know, a lot of people, I've seen this before, and I've seen people say it multiple times. I've seen somebody say it today, that, you know, they had to team up against Rox. And if you really think about it, the whole God Valley situation was against the entire crew of Rox pirates. So, I don't know. It's still in the air. Who's the strongest? Rox could be one of the strongest. I feel like he is. But him clashing with Harold, and the fact that giants can be killed, like, by other humans. Harold is strong, but is he stronger than Roger? Could Whitebeard clash with Harold? Like the later Whitebeard. I don't know about this Whitebeard, the one that's on Rox's crew at this point in time. He's probably not as strong as he is in the future, right? But it's a big question though. Who's the strongest person out here, man? We need to know that. And the fact that we see the entire crew here for the first time in this spread, that's a nice spread that we saw. This whole chapter was nice. Let me just say that before I start ranting, talking about random shit. So, we also see Caribou's father, as I was informed. This ugly dude right here with 3 chins. And a lot of people might not like his design because he's ugly. People don't like ugly characters in One Piece. But yeah, I don't like his design either. He's ugly as hell. What else can you say about it? Hey. He's here. We got him. We see him. But I also noticed something about Stussy in this chapter. It's probably not something too big to notice. I mean, it's not too noteworthy. I shouldn't be mentioning it maybe, but I did notice that her personality might be completely different from the Stussy that we know today, who was on the CP0 team with with Rob Lucci. I think she's completely different. And the fact that she grew up to be an ugly old lady reflects her personality. Oda said something like that in the past. So I think those type of things, you know, is true. It reflects the personality of the character, and the fact that she's only caring about money. She just seems like she's just a different type of character. She only cares about the fucking money. She grows up later to only care about her only claim to fame is having Whitebeard's son, you know. So we see how she ended up aging, right? She's not a good person. But we find the final moment. We see the moment where Loki gets inspired by rocks, like Luffy got inspired by Shanks, okay? And for some people, I seen online, because like I said, I seen some spoilers. Like a couple of days ago, I seen somebody take a screenshot of Loki and rocks, and they say, yo, I finally realized that Loki's Shanks is Rox D. Xebec. And I'm like, bro, like, how do you finally realize that? Loki said that like 4 or 5 chapters ago to Luffy. He said, oh, so you idolize Shanks the same way I do Rox. So I don't know how people are just now realizing that in this chapter. That's kind of crazy. But we do see the moment where Loki kind of starts feeling that way, because he hears Rox talking about taking over the entire world, because he's speaking to Harold, and Harold obviously doesn't want to do that. And when I heard him say this to Harold, he said, yo, if we team up, we're unstoppable. That is true. That's completely true. But Harold didn't do that. I feel like this is a future. If we got this future, like we couldn't have this, right? But if we had this outcome, the whole world would be different. Luffy would be trying to end up fighting Blackbeards or rocks in the end of the story or some shit like that. He'd be fighting an entirely different person at the end of the story. Emu could have got killed a long time ago. It just wasn't their era. It's the whole era thing, right? It just wasn't their era. It didn't happen. It's gonna happen in Luffy's time, in the third world, or whatever they call it, right? But we see little Loki, little kid Loki, he gets inspired by Rox's words. He hears him in the doorway, and this is the reason why, you know, Rox is his Shanks, quote unquote, right? That's the only thing that kind of sympathized or, you know, connected with him, is him hearing about taking over the world. Because Loki hates everybody right now. So the idea of like going against the entire world and not caring about this shit and just taking everything for your own, that's something that he's gonna really like and correlate with at this point in time. He didn't even think his father cared about him until he came home and started like taking care of him, since he got messed up earlier. Rox injured him, he fucked him up. But yeah, and then we go on to see how Hachinosu is going to get built. I really think that this flashback is not going to stop here. It's not going to be from Loki's perspective. It's not from Gabon's perspective. We got a narrator talking about the events from the outside, looking in. So I think that we're going to probably go all the way up to Hachinosu. We're going to go up to God Valley. I hope we go up to God Valley, okay? Everybody's been wanting God Valley forever. I want God Valley. We finally might be getting it real soon. That's what this shit looks like. Because it's ending with Rox forming his crew in the end. And we know, yeah, he had kind of his full crew earlier, but he's missing the kind of the most important people, right? He's missing Kaido and Big Mom. And I think there's one other person that I'm forgetting about. Is it Captain John? Yeah, he ain't got Captain John on his team yet, right? So there's more of his crew that he has to assemble, and we're going to probably see that next week. Hopefully leading all the way up to God Valley, like everybody wants. I want that. So yeah, there's nothing else to say about that. This video is over if you're watching it on YouTube, because I'm cutting it out of the stream, and hopefully I don't have to edit. And okay, that's it. Like, cause yeah, I can trim that part out, and that's gonna be a video. But I was also talking to the stream. See, that works perfect, bro. I can talk to the stream at the same time, make a video. That was it. I have nothing else to say about this chapter. With that being said, I talked about it while I was reading it live, and I just did that post live video thing right there. Nothing else to say, man. We got a Penguin Zoro. We got Penguin Zoro, bro. Hold on. Let's go back to Penguin Zoro. That's the beginning. That's where the chapter started, okay? We got Penguin Zoro. One of these are probably Luffy. I don't know. I don't know who this is. was a nice chapter. Kid Loki, I see why his mom tried to kill him. I mean, that's not a reason. You shouldn't be trying to kill your kid because he's ugly as fuck. That's messed up, man. You shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, he is ugly. That's an ugly little kid. Look at him. Damn. But it's nothing much to say, man. I already talked about this shit enough. I went through this shit twice. I got theories. So I'm gonna chop my theories out. I don't know. The people, do y'all still think Loki, like his eyes, have some sort of power? I don't think his eyes got power, man. I don't know. Like, but then again, like the doctor told his father that Loki, he said he could see fine, man. He could see through the bandages. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, are they thin enough that he could see, or are his eyes really special? I don't know. Yeah, I've been talking for a long time. My mouth is getting dry. I need some water. So, I think I might be entering the spring. You know, if I cared about Boruto enough, I would read Boruto. I might read some other shit live. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to read live. I'm reading a lot of shit, but I only make convenient videos about One Piece and Boruto. Read a lot of other shit too. I read Berserk. I'm reading the new manga shit. Hey, come on, man. I don't know. But I think that's it for me, man. I'm out.